this being our last show of the year, we've had an outstanding. You've been on what, 5 or 6 times this year?
At least.
Yeah, several times, and we've enjoyed you coming in, and it's been a blast.
Same here.
We were gonna talk about some of the stuff we've done for the year. We've survived a lot of calamities, so here we are at the end of the year, and we'll talk about what we're going tentative plans for next year.
That's right.
What is some of your stuff you got planned for the Fultondale Flasher?
Maybe a name change.
We're going to drop the ER.
Maybe.
Going to be the Flash.
Possibly a different paint scheme on it.
Oh yeah.
Great.
And then we're in the air on what to do on the engine combination. A lot of
Turbos.
No, I'm a nitrous guy. I'm totally easy tune nitrous. It works.
You can use both.
And you end up when that thing's at full song, you run over engine parts,
Yeah.
transmission parts, driveline parts, because you stress them enough, something gonna happen.
I grew up in the area with Randall where a throttle in a bottle did all the work, and if it wasn't enough, I had another one. And if that didn't work, I had another one.
I hear especially a lot of the old school guys, you just need to build enough motor. There's no such thing. It's just like at the bank. Nobody has ever got a phone call from the bank and says, "Sir, I'm sorry, you have too much money over here. You need to do something else with it." Bill Gates, Elon Musk has never got that phone call. Kind of like horsepower. Did you catch the YouTube video this week? There's a Chevelle on hub dynos made 6144 at the rear wheels. 670-inch Hemi style motor with a couple of big turbos on it. I don't know if it can go down the track, but 6144 will give you an opportunity.
That is unbelievable. There is a blown alcohol nitro motors. And alcohol nitro motors probably barely make that.
Oh yeah, you start putting nitro on them, you'll be fine. But this is in a street type ship. Well, I say it's a pro mod car. You can call them whatever they want.
Sure. I mean, it's going to have to be not exactly a street car to be able to keep it from twisting out of the frame. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't think it's not. We used to was it L2453 TRW in a 30 over, get a 30 over little hump top for your 350 350 engine.
Yeah.
We made those things in cylinder heads, double hump heads. I mean the 186 castings. You were the cheese. You had some 186 castings. We had this kind of stuff, and somebody come up to the track with a good set of heads and a good motor, and it sounded different than ours. I said, "Ooh, that ain't no TRW motor." And my TP151 TRW camshaft.
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah, a roller cam motor. What's that on the street? Nobody ran those on the road.
Oh, it was that thing was $150. No, I'm not paying that much for no camshaft. And the lifters were another $150. Oh no, I can get this TRW camshaft. It was $46.
That's right.
It was a good one too. Lifters were $35. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, machine work. You buy all your parts, everything. And when you got your machine shop bill, everything, you got this baby ready to go, and you had almost $1,000 in it.
That's right. That's right.
And you felt good about yourself. You got you a good motor. This baby is gonna be awesome. And it turned out pretty dang good.
Oh yeah, I remember when we had the first Camaro, the one we put on there, that '78 Camaro, the one you looked at, it had a 400 motor in it. And when we started learning how to lean on them to get them to go fast, that's when the machinists at the machine shop got to be your friend, because you started tearing up parts left and right.
You see them regular.
I'd see them call them on Friday, saw them on Saturday, did machine work on Saturday, and got the car back together on Sunday, and was going back to the track by the end of the week. We did that a lot of times during the summer.
All right, how about this? You finally, you got a motor in your car, and you're fine, but you've saved your money, and did enough side work to have enough money to build. You finally got all your parts together. You get home Friday night and start assembling that baby. Didn't have a clue about filing rings. 30 over was 30 anyway. Put this thing together. Saturday morning, you stay up late. Saturday morning you get up, complete your assembly, get this thing ready to go. Pull the motor out of your car, put the new motor in. Late in the afternoon, you crank it up. You look up under it, it's not leaking. It's time to go to the track. Get washed up as enough as you can and go up and take you a shower. Racetrack, here we come. A break-in period was if it ain't leaking, it's ready to go. How many times have you done that?
Yeah, and me and David talked about those times where we put them together, forgot to put the oil pump in it because you got in a hurry.
Oh, yeah.
Or got it together and forgot to put the converter in.
Oil pump shaft.
Yeah, or the oil pump shaft. So
and they figure out, I wonder if I can take that little sleeve off of it and drop it down through the bottom.
That went through everybody's head, I know.
Yeah, it will work because I've done it.
But you got to hit it just right to get it in there.
Then I learned to use a magnet.
Yeah.
Use a magnet, slide that thing down in there and wiggle around and thump. Went in place. There you go. We ready to go now. How about
but you only do that once, right? I think.
You will remember it next time. And I finally got where if I could put the bottom end together, once you get the bottom end together, without the oil pan on it, you cover it up and you go up and rest for the night because you spent some time. It's 11:30, 12 o'clock at night by the time you get all 8 pistons in. So I learned to stop, and then you go up and rest, and you get up the next morning. You had some breakfast, go down. Of course, wake up at 4:30 morning because you're worried about that thing. But anyway, you've had some sleep. You go downstairs and put the heads on and start putting all the accessories and get the intake on, and that baby's ready to assemble. Take the other motor out, put the new one in, and ready to go to the track.
Yeah. Always fun times, I guess. We take our time now a little bit more, and I don't know about you, but I make sure the machinist does his job first and correctly.
Check everything, and clean and clean and clean. Do you know? And I found out I was hung out with Albert Moore and Rick Pennington. They're just incredible engine guys. Cleanliness is next to godliness. When a part comes in for a NASCAR motor, in the NASCAR shop, do you know that that NASCAR or the engine shops have a cleanliness requirement for a brand new part? It's brand new and it's closed up and it's sealed, and they check for cleanliness inside the brand new part. And the number 200 parts per million, there's some kind of crazy number. I thought, well, how'd they know that? But I believe it says Champ makes oil pans. When their pans come in, they're clean enough to wipe off and put in. That's how clean they are. But I always noticed that they're built in clean room conditions. You got butcher paper everywhere, and you just really take care of that. Then they go to the track and have to tear the motor down. You tear the motor down in a mud hole.
That's right.
That is that's why I couldn't make a round tracker. Oh, the guy's going to take your parts home and check them. He ain't taking my parts home. No, I'll take my part. You can check it all you want to. You ain't taking my parts home.
That's right. That's right. And most of you know that when back in the day when we built, especially small block Chevrolets, you could build them on the back end of a pickup truck if you wanted to.
Oh yeah.
They will run. I don't know how well they stay together, but they will run.
Do you know the crankshaft is not in the center of a block? It's supposed to be because of a tolerance stacking. You ever notice you make put a 400 crank in a 350? Sometimes you have to grind the block. Sometimes you don't. That doesn't make sense. But the crankshaft may or may not be in the center of the block. It may be off 1/8 inch. That's how come sometimes you have to clear some, sometimes you don't. Well, that's why. That's the strangest thing. Now, if you buy a Dart or the aftermarket ones, it's in the center.
Mm-hmm.
But production, they go in the assembly line. All 8 pistons go in a small block Chevrolet in 30 seconds. All 8 of them in the holes. They've got them down. You got to get in a big hurry to do that.
Right. Well, I like old small block Chevrolets. Ain't nothing about them. They work. Ain't no doubt about it. I like the RPMs you can turn with them too.
Yeah, that's fun stuff. Even with some cheap stuff. Got music in the background. We're going to go out and take our first break of the day. We'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Welcome back in to Drag Race Central. We just before we went off there, you got talking about the RPM of the small block. I had a friend of mine was going to school down in Alabama, and there may have been some alcohol involved. But they were out riding around. He had a 64.5 Malibu, 283 4-speed. They're riding along, and his buddy said, "Get on it." He said, "I don't know how fast it's going. We're going along." He said, "I reached down and pulled her down in second and revved up, dumped the clutch." He said, "I should have been in third." He said, "The motor never caught." He shut down. Motor shut down, and he ought to tore it up. Got back. He said, "Flow the valves bent every push rod in the motor." He said, "It probably turned 8,000."
They'll do it. And a good one put together pretty decent. You can put the gas pedal on the floor and put a brick on it, walk off. It'll sit there and go to whatever and stay there.
Hey, you remember the contest he used to have? They used to have one, and the people bet on how long the motor would last. You get everybody out of the way, put a brick on the gas pedal, immerse the return springs off the carburetor, a brick on the gas pedal, and take bets. There's probably some alcohol involved in that also.
Oh yeah.
We talked. We've got a couple of things going. Landon in the YouTube channel, he's doing just an outstanding job with that.
Kudos.
Thank you. We got just shy of half of ours up so far.
All right, and we've got. We need y'all to send Landon some pictures. I know you posted on Facebook last night. Send pictures of your car in, and you can put their picture of their car with one of the shows that's coming on.
Yeah, Chris right now holds the title for most photos.
Woo-hoo.
You actually above him now.
All right.
I noticed the likes. I got a good bit of likes on some of my pictures there. So
the Red Rocket. Did you what you call a real red car?
That's right. The little Red Rocket's got a good handful. I don't know how that happened. Some on the.
It's not intimidating. I'll say that.
Well, maybe. I know a lot of people are quizzed about how that thing runs, and it runs good for a.
It rides down the road.
Yeah.
Air conditioner works.
That's right.
It is not broken. In my world, we've talked about that's the way you can tell if your vehicle is broken down. If the air quits working, that rascal's tore up.
Hey, I want you to know we took that thing to Laster Mountain and raced it, and it actually won a couple of rounds before it got put out.
No, hang on. You said that wrong. It's not tore up. It's toe up.
It's toe up. That's right. TOW. Toe up. We just got to say that he has done an outstanding job with our YouTube channel. I filmed a little bit of some of the first videos we got. That's going to be a process.
Yes.
My smiling face, it's tough. Hey, let's go out to a caller. Good morning.
A smiling face?
You got that right, Keith.
I ain't never seen it.
That's your problem.
Maybe one of these days I'll get to.
Well, that'll work. It's kind of a scary thought because, Keith, I have to tell you, this whole crew up here, we all have faces for radio.
That's right.
I'm glad you got Chris there because I got something to tell him.
Uh-oh, go ahead.
You remember that barbecue place you used to stop at in the title when you was going to the car sale?
That's right.
It ain't there no more.
No way.
Nope, but there's another little burger joint there.
Huh.
It's called Magic Burger.
Magic.
And it's pretty good. It's pretty good because I ate there yesterday.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we got to check it out.
Yeah, the little lady that took her money, I was standing there with a $20 bill, and she said 1909. I looked at her, I said, you knew how much money I had, yeah? Before I could get it up to the window, she done snatched it out of my hand, gave me back the change. I thought, thank you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, most women have that uncanny ideal of they know exactly what you got in your pocket when it comes to cash.
Oh, that's scary, scary.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad you did that. I haven't been up that way in a month or better, probably a couple of months now. So hopefully they'll give me a reason to go up through there. And when I do, I'll make it a point to stop in there. And you recommend their burgers?
Oh, yeah, Lord, yes. They used to be over there in a tower close to the Holiday Inn, but they tore that building down.
Uh-huh.
And, then they didn't try to go nowhere else until they bought out that barbecue place.
Okay.
And so.
But
it's hard.
Hey,
if you get with a track, go ahead.
You brought this up, and I think this is a good thing. What this means, we used to be hound dogs, now we're hamburger people. The hound dog thing went away, but anyway,
my job takes me traveling from one end of the state to the other end of the state, and usually when I'm in an area and I got a time, I'll try and visit some of the more local areas to get something to eat, and I'll ask a lot of times for recommendations and where they suggest I go, and sometimes it turns out to be pretty good, and sometimes I would be like, I don't know what I got myself into.
Yeah, well, that being said, we need an official restaurant for the show. Starting in January, I'm going to be hitting hard and heavy on a bunch of new advertisers. We've got some great people. They've been awesome, and we appreciate everything they've done for us, but we have room for more. So we needed hey, Chris, listen to this. We need an official golf cart provider, official RV provider, a restaurant. We need some people to help us come on the air, because this, I promise, Keith, this is a pretty expensive proposition to come over here.
I know it is. I got a lot of friends that work at QSB radio station in Albertville. Oh, I know.
It's pretty expensive,
mm-hmm.
and we have a pretty big stick we swing here, so we get out to lots of people, and our advertiser now do an outstanding job, and we appreciate everything they do for us. We're going to add some more.
Sounds good. Very exciting. So
if you're the best fish head and rice place in the world, we want you on here. Hey, you think about Racers Fine Dining, and that's where we need to be. Now, if you're in trouble and have to take the little lady out to a nice restaurant, that's kind of on you. But it doesn't matter what happens. A racer going to eat there. That's the people we need.
Yeah.
We need to get a place. Care what you go in, it's going to be good.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, well, you was talking about restaurants there. Me driving a truck to California and back each week, that was 6,000 miles, but I had my regular fuel stop, but every bit of my food was good.
Heck yeah.
Yep. And I couldn't get off too far off the interstate.
Uh-huh. Well, I remember on the Beverly Hillbillies, they went into a restaurant, and they said, Granny said, this couldn't be a good place to eat. There ain't no trucks out front.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because they know where the good places are.
That's right.
I was watching them a while ago.
Yeah, Beverly Hillbillies is some awesome stuff. Well, Keith, we appreciate you calling, and keep in touch with us.
Oh, I will, and y'all have a Merry Christmas if I don't get to talk to you in the morning. That includes you too, Chris.
Also to you, Keith.
See you, buddy.
All right.
That's our buddy Keith from up in Altoona, Alabama. And the correct term is Altoona, but no, Altoona.
Altoona.
YouTube page, YouTube channel. Send your pictures in and make sure you get your
Facebook page for that.
Oh yeah. How did they do that?
101.1 DragRace Central. It's our Facebook. 101.1
All right.
DragRace Central.
Put your car on there, and Landon will put that.
You have the option to send us messages if you want to be more discreet, which I don't think will really help because I'm going to post a picture of your car anyways. And
your smiling face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on there now, and you'll see me all over it, plastered over there. So the face for the radio is on some of the pictures on that YouTube.
Well, hey, Now I've got to announce this. This is important. It's in the year of the last, and I feel
you're going to put discretion in there.
I feel good about this. My '55 Chevrolet. It's a Bel Air 210. I don't know what that is. It's a reasonable facsimile of. It has a new name.
Oh, really?
Yes, it does. Bubbles.
Bubbles.
Bubbles. The Corvette. It's Trixie. So I have Bubbles and Trixie at the house.
I just want you to know those sounds more like stripper names.
Okay.
Strippers cost less.
That's right. Girlfriend, I've told her she's up to number 3 now. That hadn't gone over very well. We're going to go out and take a break. We'll be right back on DragRace Central.
Welcome back into DragRace Central. This segment is going to be brought to you by Ray's Drive Shafts.
Ray, if you need a drive shaft for your car, we know where to go.
That's right. Ray's Drive Shafts, located at 1417 Decatur Highway in Fultondale, Alabama. Give them a call at 205.
You'll have to look it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've only been saying his phone number for 4 years. No, six.
Approaching 6 years.
At this afternoon, he knows it by heart. But early in the morning, when he's just trying to get woke up and sip on that,
I'm only down to 1 coffee this morning.
Okay. So no wonder he's not up.
His tractor ain't got cranked yet.
That's it. Give me a call down 256-572-7485. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah, he'll take care of all your drive shaft needs. So that's another good place to go. And also at his location, you can pick up VP Race Fuel. There's a great place to go in drive shaft and some fuel. Chris, I know you've heard me talk about this being Christmas time. Christmas is next weekend. This is our last show of the year. But ladies, if you haven't got your husband that last thing he needs, there's one gift. You got him the chick gift, and he's gonna be ooh and ah, and already got his socks and underwear and his new ties. I understand. At this time it's close right, 3 pails of VP racing fuel. You talking about being number 1 in his heart. If a chick that will feed you and buy you race gas, you talking about she'd be in the top 5 forever. Or
if VP Racing Fuel offered gift certificates, even better.
Oh, you could buy a gift certificate for VP Race Fuel. So, and that way, when you need it, you go ahead and flash that baby. Oh, there you go.
That's right.
So I think 3 pails. Now, if you wait till sometime next week, it's going to take 4 pails of race fuel to
catch up.
Yeah, at this. Hey, 2 weeks ago you could have bought him a pail and you'd have been fine.
We need to get with Rick Pennington and tell him he needs to be offering gift certificates, because girls are not going to pick up a little 5-gallon pail. They'll have to have somebody put it in the car and get it out, but they will buy a gift certificate.
Well, how about this? Gardendale Performance has gift certificates.
There you go.
So
go buy.
And buy that way he can come by and get the fuel in. And this fuel doesn't age like gasoline, because it's not gasoline. It is race fuel. That's good. It's a good idea.
Yeah, as long
3 pails. Here it is, a week before Christmas. 3 pail minimum.
That's exactly right. Or a gift certificate. Hint, hint.
That's a good idea, Chris. That's the reason he makes the big bucks.
Brad Anderson Hemme. He won't be mad.
I got ideals. They just don't ever pan out. But I got ideals.
Well, anyway, your race fuel, there's a lot of locations. We'll come back to the VP fuel. I just happened to think about that. Ladies, if you're looking for that last moment gift, some race gas. Oh yeah, race fuel.
That's right. That's right. Our gift certificates.
That's right, for race fuel. Anyway, last Friday night, and by the way, good morning to Will. He'll be calling us in. Donna, I hope she's up listening. I was going to try to have Donna and William on the air with us, and she had some little health issues she was dealing with. She said she would be listening. So good morning, Snack Lady.
Good morning, Donna.
So we was going to try to have them up. They live so far in the woods. Saturday night Grand Ole Opry don't get there till Sunday morning.
That's right.
They're way out in the woods.
And good morning, David Merle. I don't know if you woke up yet or not, but if you're listening to us up there, hope you're enjoying the show. We got your pictures on YouTube, some of them, so you'll be happy to know that.
And you ain't a bit prettier than you ever were.
Yeah, well.
None of us are.
He's definitely got the face for the radio, too, if you could be on here.
Yes, he does. All this being said, last Friday night, there was an incident. It took place in Birmingham. It's Birmingham city limits out, and actually in Irondale on John Rogers Drive, which is, we used to call that Horse Track Road. It's still Horse Track Road. They can name it whatever they want to. Like in Mount Olive, we have Dump Road. It was Mary Buckaloo, then it's Barber Parkway, but still the Dump Road, whatever you want to call it. There were some kids out doing donuts in the middle of the road. Some other kids were racing, approximately 100 miles an hour. I don't know. There was a big wreck. Car went off into the crowd. Kid run out of talent. Imagine that. Run off in the crowd. 13 injuries. I think 9 went to the hospital. I don't think there was any deaths involved, but there was actually a 5-year-old child. Somebody had their child out with them, and out in the middle of the night at the street event. And these are not street racers; these are exhibition drivers. Totally different crowd. One of the things I thought about. Because we live in Gardendale, Fultondale, in the North Jefferson County area. The city of Gardendale is building a new park facility, and it is incredible. I mean, this it's the cheese. Stan Hoagland is the mayor out there, and he's just announced. I graduated high school with Stan. Been a friend for for a lot of years now. But the expense or the budget of this ballpark. $27 million. So, there's a bond issue, and there's some others. I mean, however they fund that thing. Well, that being said, the ballpark is designed for kids, boys, and some girls, but boys, from 4 or 5 years old up to about 12 years old. Well, after about 12, the ones who are still playing ball go on to high school, junior high and high school programs. A lot of the kids drop out at this point because there's really no place for them, and testosterone, progesterone, and all these kind of things kind of kick in, and then they get a car and they get some money, and then nobody wants these teenagers. Nobody. There'll be 8 or 10 of them around, and all of a sudden there's 300 of them around. A couple of people to get together for a teen party, and there's 600 show up for a house party. We understand that, and they trash everything, and they stink, and they're obnoxious, and they know everything about nothing. But that being said, we've got a group of young people starting at about 16 years old up until marriage age, college, go off to college. So there's 5 or 6 years, 7 years that nobody wants these kids. They're going to congregate. It's going to happen. And do you want them in a controlled environment, or do you want in a controlled environment they want to be in? Let's put them at the drag strip. And I mentioned Gardendale spending $27 million on a new park. Awesome. I mean, it's great for the community. What happens to these 15 to 19 and 20-year-olds? Len and I were talking about it last night, that the young people, the police coming, they go street races. Did it for years and years. My daddy did it. So these kids are going out street racing. They're just making the news more than we did.
Oh, absolutely.
This has been going on. How about this? Your older guys remember Ed Salem's and Salvador's downtown, 26th Street, about 10th Avenue North. It's right under where the interstate is. When you go off down from 26th Street, go across down the hill, and then the Top Golf's on the right down a little swag. Salvador's and Ed Salem's. So cruising has been going on. The car culture has been going on for 70, 80 years now. So with the accident happened, no accident. Well, the stupidity happened out on John Rogers, and all these cars tore up, the emergency rooms, the police. We're talking about several $100,000 of damage was done. By the time you take 9 people to the emergency room, see how much that bills are.
Well, on top of that, the lives of 2 young men are now forever changed in their rest of their lives from here on out.
That's right.
There is no turning back the clock and redoing what they had done. So their lives, on top of all the injuries that happened, and then so hopefully the good Lord has laid their hand on them and they will heal. But the 2 men who were in those vehicles, their lives will forever be changed.
Yes.
From here on out in their lives.
They did not understand what this will cause them, because young people can't see past their nose. They don't understand the future. And when I get old, what happens in 5 minutes? There's no out for that. Having a place for young people to go, and with Laster Mountain coming available, it sure would be a great place to have a place for young people to go. My deal was, obviously we're going to have some drag racing, we know that, some fast cars. How about a burnout night? How about a cruise night? How about a drive-in theater on location? With this thing, and I heard the city councilman from that area got to talking about, we're going to go in the legislature, we're going to pass some laws. Passing laws, okay. If we passed a law, would there be no more murders? Wait a minute, I thought murder was already against the law. We're at 130-something in the city of Birmingham this year. Let's make drugs illegal. That'll help too. Wait a minute, I think they're already illegal.
Unfortunately, that's a politician's fallback, is always to pass a law. It makes them feel better when they go to bed at night. Unfortunately, it didn't fix anything.
Let's fix the problem. We want to, and just to foo-foo it is keeping your head in the sand, because kids are going to go to the street races. We know that. Oh, yeah. And you just run off from one place, go to another. Remember Midnight Madness at Bama Dragway?
Oh, yeah.
Hundreds of kids. It was as trying to get back. You make a pass down the drag strip to try to get back to your trailer was as bad as going to Panama City and cruising the strip.
That's right.
It was completely full.
And the reason that made Bama so popular when they did that was because of the crowd coming out of the Jasper and up that way. They had nothing to do or nowhere to go.
We had a draw. There's a reason for them to get off the street, come to a place where other people of like mind. I don't know of ever any problems down there. Everybody, we just tickled to death to be there. Because obviously you and I were a bunch older, but when you see kids having fun, this is what we should do. Because who's our next group of racers going to be? And we don't want these kids in trouble. We want them in a positive, in a positive thing. Landon talked, last night.
There's nothing to do for the age group between 15 to 17. There's nothing.
Look for alcohol and get somebody pregnant, and that, it's unfortunate that there's no place. The mentors of coming and hanging out where older guys are fooling with their cars, and you can come involved. And we're tickled to death to have young people come around us. They're not annoying because they're inquisitive and they ask good questions, and that's awesome.
Yeah, there's another factor that that's when we were growing up, we didn't have this, so you might have heard about it out on the streets. But another factor has changed the world we live in, and I give it to it's a good device, but it's also a very evil device, and I'm holding it in my hand right here.
I've got one right here too.
It's got a very good side, but it also has a very bad side, and everything is now videoed, be it good or bad, and somebody's always trying to own up the next thing they see on the video.
Yep.
And post, and I think we live in a society where everything happens instantly, and they can see across the world what's going on instantly.
Yeah.
And some things
there's no 24-hour news cycle. It's immediate.
When we were growing up, we didn't have this. It was just us, and we had our fun, and we got out of there. And if it made news the next day, you heard about it the next day on the TV. But if you did not, you didn't know nothing about it. Now it's so instant somebody could be video and giving it to somebody else across the United States as it's happening.
Yes.
And it's a double-edged sword, I believe. It's great in one aspect, but it can also be very dangerous.
I agree. There was a wreck at the mountain one night. Car went tumbling down the track, and there's people were running down there. And I said, "Boy, this is going to end up on YouTube." And a woman beside me said, "It's already on there." The smoke had not cleared from the car wrecking, and there was people running to the crash site. It was on YouTube or on the Facebook.
Yeah, and it's a world that we're going to have to adjust to, but it can be done. It can be done.
Oh, yeah.
The good Lord has always taught us to be positive, and there's only a way to figure it out. We just got to figure it out, and like-minded people can do it.
With a common goal.
With a common goal. I think it can be happening. We just need to get everybody together. But passing laws is not going to be the answer.
It. I hear music in the background. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
All right. We're going to go ahead and take us a little break. We'll be right back on DragRace Central. Welcome back into DragRace Central. Hey, Chris, Landon, let's go out to a caller. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Randall, Joe from Fultondale. Friend of Chris's. Me and Chris run around together for years.
Well, good morning to you, Joel.
For years and been to many drag races together. Enjoy your show.
Well, hey, we appreciate you listening. Hey, Chris, we're up to 7 listeners now. This is awesome.
Joel, I appreciate you calling in.
I know you keep telling me to call in. I finally got motivated, said I'll call in this morning.
Well, we need you to call in. I think they did the math, and there's 3.5 million people in our listening area. And for some reason, and I'm not sure, we can't get all of them to listen at one time. Not sure what the problem is. And I'm not even sure it's this time of morning because, I found out recently that 6 o'clock comes twice a day.
It does. I don't like it. First one's really rough.
It is kind of early.
If you see the first one, sometimes the second one's hard to see.
No, now look, Joe, I got it figured out. About 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Jerry Springer comes on, and if I'm around the house, I'll go up and take it out because I'm retired, I'll go up, I'll catch me a little nap, about a 20 or 30 minute. Oh man, I am awesome. Sometimes I can make it till 9:30.
Oh man, cheating on me.
Is that awesome or what?
So Randall, Joel was one of the original builders of the Larry Marshall car that I now own.
Okay.
And he'll correct me every time that's not a Fairmont, that's a Zepra. So I have to watch myself around Joel every time I mention what kind of car I've got, because he'll definitely correct me quickly, and that's because he was a hands-on person when that car was coming together, and he could probably tell you a lot about that car.
I remember when it was being built. I sure do.
I don't know if y'all remember, Skip Brazil was probably one of the first drivers of that car from Gardendale.
I still see Skip occasionally.
The funny story with that car, the first time they took it to Bristol for Summer Nationals, running hot rod, 1090 index, run a 1089 with a 9. Did not qualify.
Oh my goodness!
My goodness, missed it.
64 car field, and he missed it by 100th or 1,000th, and couldn't get it anywhere close after that.
My goodness.
Well, that's why we called it racing, not winning.
Yes.
Winning is hard.
I was a long trip though to go to make, just to have to drive back and watch the races. That was pretty expensive, but we've managed to iron some of the bugs out of it. The car is aged, but it's been kept in very good condition, and Keith Coates has kept it up and kept it going when I bought it from him, and I appreciate Keith giving me an opportunity to buy that car from him, and I've enjoyed every minute of owning it. It's been a very good driving car, and and I'm excited to take it to the track, because you don't see many of them anymore like you did back in the day when Bob Glidden first brought one of those cars out to the track and started winning with it. I think all of a sudden everybody had to have one of those square body cars. But even Bob Glidden said you could put a a hood scoop on anything and make it look good.
Yeah, now Larry Marshall was one of the instructors out at the old Bessemer Tech. It's Lawson State now. But he was an automotive instructor out there. So I still, up until recently, I would still see Larry pretty regular.
We need to run them down, see if we can get some inside information. I'd love to get an older picture. That's one. Joel, do you got any pictures of that car?
I do not. Back in the days, that's 40 years ago when that car was first built and we was working on it, nobody had cameras at that time. I don't think we had grease, but we had no cameras.
Hey, you actually had to have a camera. That's what was bad.
Yeah, I know.
And then at the end of the roll, you put it in that little plastic thing and took it to the 1 hour place and had to have it processed.
Yeah, that was back when you had Istomatics, but even when this car was built, I don't even think they had Istomatics. You had
had Polaroids.
It had Polaroids, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Plus, you had to have $20 to have them printed up, and you wasn't sure what you was getting with that $20.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if they'd open them up and there'd be half of them developed, half of them. I was going through some old stuff. I found a 126 camera. I guess I got when I was a kid. There's a roll of film in it that have been taken, have never developed. I'm going to have that roll of film developed. And there is no telling what is on that, but it would be a time capsule for sure.
Yeah. Nowadays, I wish I had a camera. All the cars that I helped people with throughout the years, Plaster Mountain, but you can't find pictures of them anymore.
Right. Well,
it meant something to you.
The old video of when Laster Mountain was being built, and we were talking about street racing, and
right.
We're trying to get that stopped and how we would do that. But the video from Laster Mountain when it was being built and the blasting, of course, people now would freak out to know that you could go down to the hardware store and buy dynamite, and it was in a 55-gallon drum. It was not unusual.
Right.
You go down to the hardware store, or I said, what was it? Berman Mercantile, and there was another one downtown. You used to buy dynamite because you needed some. It was in a crate. Kind of like there's a crate of vegetables, a crate of dynamite. But anyway, but you buy the stuff, and they did all the blasting and the work. And on that video, what's that thing? 2 or 3 minutes long. Got stuff from Helena Dragway and Ed Salem's and Salvador's and all the cruising that went on.
I was watching some of that last night on YouTube before I went off to bed there. It came up on my phone, and I actually watched some of that, of the reminiscent of Ed Salem and the people back in the day when they went to the drive-through or drive-in and ate ice cream and ate hamburgers and had a good time. And
went to window shop in downtown Birmingham.
Yeah.
So cruising. I mean, cruising and racing has been going on in my dad's era. It was on 3rd Avenue South, close to Avondale area, where the putt golf was. That was that, and also on Cat Mountain. That's where they street raced in. So street racing hadn't just started.
Right. But it
started when the second car was built.
Yeah. And how about this? Now we're working hard to get the kids off the street and making sure, but we got the most popular show on Discovery doing street racing. How do we make it better when we got the most popular show on TV in car world, street racing? It doesn't make sense.
Well, we'll keep working with it. And Joel, I appreciate you calling in, and I appreciate you giving them comments on the blast from the past. I keep posting up some pictures on there on my Facebook. So, Joel, again, I appreciate you calling in, and do it more often.
That's right. We got to go. We got to take us a break. We'll be right. Thanks, Joe. All right, Joel. All right. We'll be right back on DragRace Central. And one is leaned down eating. The other one is looking off in the distance, and they're white, and they got they're decorated. Well, Landon, in his teenage wisdom, we had mating reindeer in my front yard.
That was funny.
Well, in guy world, it kind of was. I said,
y'all can't see this on the radio, but he's snickering over here.
I said, now, if Mother shows up, Yeah, this would be the second year that my mother was gone, but mother was not somebody you mess with. So, she knew Landon's at the house. I knew she'd be coming by. Well, I hadn't no more got that out of my mouth good. Here come my mother driving up the driveway. We've got 2 wooden reindeer mating in the front yard. And my mother gave me the stinky eye. And I pointed immediately. He did that. It was not me. Because I knew you'd be coming up.
No. See, and how I told him was, hey, I fixed your reindeer. He's they fall over? I was like, yeah. And that's when I put him like that.
Mating reindeer in the front yard.
One just fell on the other one, and it looks that way.
Yeah.
No, it did not. It was very, very intentional. That was kind of funny, though. My poor mother just kind of shook her head. Yeah. I said, hey, he did it. It wasn't me. So I didn't get the, hey, it's still early. You can go out there in the storage room and get them reindeer out.
Reenact it.
We can have that's right, reenactment.
It might happen.
Love might be in the air.
How big are they? I mean, you ain't.
Oh no, these are deer size. We have deer coming out of our yard all the time.
I'd be worried about somebody shooting them, wouldn't you?
No, they're white.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, they're white and
they're albino. Really rare.
Yes. Yeah, but they're white reindeer like they've been out in the sun. We've got we put out wild game cameras at the house, coyotes, and deer, possum, foxes is normal. But the deer, I think these things must click or something. There's one out in the back, and these things, a deer in the headlights, we got that regularly.
Uh-huh.
So then, but that's, but Landon and his amorous deer got me in trouble. I think just after that is when I quit decorating.
Outside?
Yeah.
Now you let them do it on the inside?
Well, fortunately, the house is about 500 feet off the road, so, unless you come into the house, you wouldn't have known it.
This is exclusive for his friends, family.
Yeah, I just shake my head at boy. He's just like his daddy. Oh.
So if you want to see it, just send Randall a Facebook message. Tell him you want to come by the house and look at the reindeer.
I tell you what, if you set those reindeer up, you take a picture of them and put them on your Facebook page. We got amorous reindeer in the yard.
All right, so there it is. Otherwise, go by Randall's house and
just send him a message. Look him up in the yellow pages.
Oh, I'm not in the yellow pages. I'm hiding. 941-1011 is our number. Area code 205-941-1011 is our number. We talk more about this, getting the kids off the street and making more laws, and we did this for years and years. I think there was, we finished up our series of all the racetracks we've been to and the racing spots around town. There were 17 street race spots in the city of Birmingham. City and county, but there were. What's that?
I was counting how many there is in Huntsville where I raced.
There were 17, and they're still operating, because if you go by one of these locations, you see all the black marks. They still go. Get an empty stretch of road, no traffic, and a couple of hot rods. There's going to be some people doing some racing.
That's true.
Let's give them a place. Of course, my sweatshirt I got on today, on the back of it says "Mark Your Territory." How fitting.
That's right.
Because every neighborhood in the whole country, somebody put some black marks and marked their territory. So those things are available on 101.1, your Facebook page, a T-shirt. You need to put a picture of our T-shirts and sweatshirts on the page.
I'll work on that.
We got merchandise available. That's scary. We got boxes and boxes of stuff that need to belong to somebody else.
Hey, and when we're doing coffee mugs, everybody needs a coffee mug.
We do. Not getting mugged, a coffee mug. Okay, that might be a good idea.
Yeah, good Christmas gifts and birthday.
Yeah, we need to do that. the problem with coffee mugs, and you have to be careful in shipping. So many of them are broken. The handle gets broken off. It's just aggravating. So we need to get a little creative with the type material we use. Get something you can use for a hammer also.
Metal coffee mugs are bad. They burn your hand.
Phenolic. Get one. What's those things? The magic cups you put hot stuff in and stays all day.
Thermoses.
What's Yeti? Yeti cups. We need Yeti cups with our logo.
Them things are awesome. Man, I've got one and I love that thing. You can put ice and a drink in it and it'll go all day. You come back the next day and it still have ice in that cup. That's unbelievable.
I saw a F-250 had caught on fire. He had ice, like iced tea in that thing. They got the fire put out. The cup still had ice in it.
I don't doubt it. That thing, it works awesome. I love them. So yeah, get one up and I will try it out for you once you get it. Just no charge to you.
Oh,
if you will just send me a Yeti cup with the logo on it.
Well, I appreciate.
And I'll let you know how it works out.
I got one. Hottie bought me one that has Yellowstone on it.
Yellowstone.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. The TV show.
Oh yeah. I am hooked.
I say no. He's not a nature guy. No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not what?
You're not a nature guy.
No.
Yeah.
I like nature. I was a naturalist years ago.
Was you? Well, you kind of live out a little bit out in the
boonies.
Boonies a little bit
I guess
there.
So.
You almost got to ship sunshine out there. You're not quite out there that far, but you're almost out there.
On April 27th, was it 11 when the tornadoes came through, tore everything up?
It was.
Lights are off. Let me tell you, it's dark out where I live. There's no lights anywhere. It's real dark. You get up in the middle of the night.
Can't see your hand in front of your face.
You're going to hit something. And I don't get around on top of that. So that's really.
Need all the help you can get there.
I do. We've got some pretty cool stuff. We hadn't talked about this. Richard Oettinger, who one of our listeners, has been on here with us a couple of times, got Pro Mod cars. He's going to be. We got the World of Wheels coming up first weekend in February. He's going to be in our booth. He's got a Hemi, blown Hemi in a 37 Chevrolet. He's in the process of having it painted. It had beautiful paint on it, but he bought it from a guy who liked pastels. It was a pastel paint job.
Oh my goodness!
And nice paint. I looked at it.
Hurt your eyes looking at it. I thought race cars don't have to have pastel colors on it.
What was he thinking? He said, "I'm not sure. That's the colors he liked." But he's having it painted, and he'll have it ready for the world. And this car really needs scuffed and painted. There's no body work whatsoever because it was a beautiful car. So he'll have that in the World of Wheels, and we put in the Corvette. It's either we're going to change the name either to Trixie or For Sale.
Trixie or For Sale.
Yeah, Trixie's going to be on the car, and it'll have For Sale sign too because it's just physically too hard for me to run, and it takes a Pro Mod car requires at least 3 people, and Landon does a great job. There's no issues with that, but there's only one of him. So it takes several people to run these cars, and it's just too much for me.
Well, you don't have to run it. You can just hold on to it and show it.
That's
see, you got the car show. You just keep it every year, and when the car show rolls around, roll it out.
That's kind of like living next door to Miss America. It just don't do you a whole lot of good.
Well,
right?
Well, they're late. When I spoke with Gary Wells, he says, "Yeah, well, I got it. That's all."
Well, I talked to Gary for about an hour yesterday. But anyway, Richard Oettinger is going to be in with us, and he's got a new group coming up. They're going to do a match race group. I think there's 4 cars in it, and kind of go around the southeast doing these things. Scotty Cannon's going to be involved in it.
Wow, really?
Scotty has been a Pro Mod guy for years and years. Kind of got out of it, but he's going to be involved in this guy, and they're going to no times, some backup girls, some they're going to put on a show.
Scotty was the one who wrote the rule book on Outlaw Pro Mod. He wrote the book on that.
Yeah, because there was no rules.
He put the Outlaw in Outlaw Pro Mod.
That's right. Am I hearing music? I can't hear it very well. There we go. I thought I hear music. We're going to go out and take a break. We'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Now, there's some of Landon's music.
It's Avenged Sevenfold.
I haven't decided what that guy was saying, but I don't think he's happy. He's not going out for tea and crumpets.
Is that Afterlife? Nightmare. Close.
Chris, I'm so confused. Is that music? What was that? I'm not sure what that was. It's some headbanger stuff anyway.
On a lighter note, Solo Joe is working on a opening song for us. It's going to have a lot of electric guitars in it, a little bit of headbanging, a lot of drums. I can't wait.
Well, speaking of that,
Good.
did I tell you I've got some Christmas music available?
Hopefully you're not singing.
He is.
Cruising through the mall with a hot chick by my side, hoping that my best girlfriend don't see us out tonight. Oh, jingle bells,
No.
shotgun shells, rabbits all the way. Oh,
No.
what fun it is to drive in Grandpa's Chevrolet. Hey, I'm through.
No, Randall. Stick with what you know.
I was cruising to the mall with a fast girl by my side. Well, we had the fun girls. And you had your normal girl that you went out with and that you let your mom meet. She come by the house, and and this was your girlfriend. Now they had to be home about 11 o'clock. Then we went and got our fun girls. A lot of them had jobs, and they didn't get off till 11 o'clock. So mathematically, it worked out pretty well.
Oh yeah, back in the day.
Back in the day. That's just wrong. I apologize up front.
As long as you're apologizing up front, I guess.
A lot
Makes it better.
Yeah. If I need to do that. But anyway, they're gonna have the Richard Otanger. They got a group together, and they're working on if you're a track operator, how much they're going to charge to come in. They'll have these things. They won't be set on kill. You're taking a car that's potentially run 360s. There's a lot of maintenance. These cars, they'll have them set up in 14s, somewhere in that range of teens, O's, a lot of side-by-side stuff, selling some T-shirts and, doing some stuff like that. And I think it'll be a good addition, like a bracket program. Bracket does good and all that, but it does not bring spectators. So you need a reason for spectators to come. So this group of guys putting on a show hope we bring people in some spectating and buying some tater chips and
hot dogs and
barbecued nachos from I-22. Oh my goodness!
Well, I'm thinking on top of that, we never got to do our best 2 out of 3 race. I know it'll be next year, but we're still on for that. Hopefully, because I've been holding on to that $1 bill forever just to see if I can match it with another one beside it. I've got a place in my trailer for the other dollar bill.
George Washington, when he pulled it out, he's going to be rubbing his eyes.
That one that you're supposed to be putting up there, or the IOU or whatever.
I'll borrow it from Landon.
There you go. So our 2 out of 3 race never really pandered out this last season, but it's
broke parts. It was something every week.
Yeah. I don't know if I could have done much with my little Mountie Mouse of a small block this last season there, but we put up a good front during this last season.
You what 7-1?
Yeah,
something like that. 8-1.
Yeah, or better. I mean, we held everybody
off.
That's
1,000 right there.
Yeah, we didn't have no real competition. I would think there for a minute there. There were good cars and fast cars.
Things happen to them.
Yeah, and you can just, but the good thing about a small block, they accelerate very quick. And now they don't have a top end like.
And it don't blow the tires off. It's very consistent.
That's right. It went down the track every time, and the other guys, they beat their own selves up 90% of the time. I'm talking about you, Dominic, and.
Not to mention any names.
and so that's part of racing. There's a strategy that goes on, and sometimes you don't have to have the fastest car. You just got to be able to with them on the starting line and just beat them, and then now they got to chase you down the track.
And that's our 205 list. And they get on it, get on the nitrous too hard to get on this, and the car don't react real well. They get excited, and you're motoring away, and they're doing it knowing they're faster.
Exactly.
You're motoring away from them.
Exactly. So there's a thought process into that, and I'm glad it worked out for us this last season. We did real well. We stayed number one, probably at least 90% of the season. It looks like right there at the end we got nipped right there by Anthony, but he stepped up and brought it.
He stepped up and had to buy a real motor.
Yeah, he did.
And he did. He bought a real one.
He did, and I got a look of it, and that thing was intimidating. And,
he does an outstanding job.
And kudos to him. He brought it on at the end of the season, and he definitely earned it. He was the fastest one out there.
But you can say too little, too late.
Yeah, I got the crown all the way till the end there anyway. But hopefully next season we'll get to be able to revamp that and see somebody to pick up Blaster Mountain. And, and we can carry on what we got. I appreciate Carl doing what he did for us when he did have the track. But
always enjoyed Carl Angel. They did a great job. They with more and more grandkids, and they're wanting to race. And the being track operators is very restrictive. You can't race because you're the track operator, and they want to go off and they'd close the track. And that's in Randall's world and Landon's world, if we had the track, we're going to be open 3 or 4 nights a week.
I was about to say, Dad, you never go on vacation. This is perfect for you.
Move the camper up there.
Yeah, I could live up there.
Yeah, run your motorhome up there.
Yeah,
home away from home.
We could have a campground up there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'd be open Wednesday night testing tune, Friday and Saturday, and bikes on Sundays. The bike guys really like Sunday afternoons.
Yeah.
But that'd be in Randall's world, and then we'd have drive-in theater. We would show Smokey and the Bandit,
eastbound and down,
and then westbound down. The same show. What's the other? Trying to think what them other ones were. Red Line Fever, and all those old hot rod movies.
Two-Lane Blacktop.
Two-Lane Blacktop. Oh yeah.
The greatest movie ever made, American Graffiti.
Hey, I watched it the other night. It's still good. What's the best line in the whole movie?
Oh, I don't know. There were a lot of them in there.
John Milner had the little girl in the car. Harrison Ford was in the 55, and they was back and forth. She said, "Your car's uglier than I am." She said that didn't come out right.
She ad-libbed that line in there. That was not even part of the script.
Oh, it worked good. Your car's uglier than I am.
What do they call that? He said, "What is that? A field car?" Yeah,
it's not a field car. But there was some great stuff in it. Toad in the '58. And that was just Richard Dreyfuss and Suzanne Summers, and just if you never had an opportunity. And then after that was on. There was nothing on TV other than. By the way, I've set a new world record. Christmas Vacation. We're 1 week away from Christmas. I've seen it 14 times already this season. I'm marking down I got a piece of paper on the refrigerator. I'm marking down each time I watch either a portion of it. Christmas Vacation. It was on again last night.
Good lines on it. And
what you got there, Clark, is an RV.
Yeah.
Don't you go getting attached to it. We're going to take it with us when we leave here next month.
There you go. So hopefully we could get some good Christmas shows coming up.
We'd have that. Of course, American Graffiti is the best one ever, and there's another one called Fandango.
Really?
Fandango is kind of a kid cult classic. Kevin Costner and some real stars in it. They're on their last hurrah from graduating high school. Some of them have gotten drafted and going off to Vietnam. It's a neat one. Another one, Hollywood Nights.
I was going to bring that one up. I would have to put that second in there, Hollywood Nights. If not first, both of them kind of compete with each other there. Both
Very
of them got to
good.
get some lines.
They're rude, crude, and socially unacceptable, but you got to watch them.
Yeah, I love that movie. There's some good ones out there. What about the one where the guy had the old Willis at the root beer place that came in there? He came in with an old Willis gasser, and he came in with like an old engine in it. But during the show, he had to come up with some money, and they put a blown Hemi in that thing and raced it.
Music. We're going to go out and take us a break. We're going to talk about some more of these movies, and when we come back, we'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Welcome back to Drag Race Central. We're talking about some of the movies we would put on if we had a drive-in. And your favorite, Hot Rod?
Hot Rod was the name of the movie with an old Willis in it.
Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry. Vanishing Point. Though there's some real car movie.
There is. There's a lot of them out there. Some of them are fun. Some of them are just a little cheesy.
Pretty cheesy. That's right.
The car out of Phantasm. Is it Phantasm?
Oh, I'm not.
They had that CUDA in there at the beginning of it.
Okay.
There's some car movies out there that were in the movies, and even though they were not the biggest part of the movies, but there were some great-looking classic cars.
Hey, here's your cheesy one. Corvette Summer.
Oh, yeah. Corvette Summer.
Mark Hamill. Annie Potts.
Oh yeah, always a fun movie.
Let's go out. Well, who was that? What?
So you're trying to bring in teenagers, right?
Uh-huh.
You're naming movies I don't even know.
Well, we need to
maybe you need
broaden their horizons.
They're not going to come see them.
Well, what movies would they come see?
You can
Twinkies, Twinkies and stud muffins and stuff.
Yeah, anything from this decade.
Okay.
Well, and another thing they could do at Laster Mountain is hopefully maybe they'll take this idea. Somebody could take up and run with it at the end of the track. They could go down there and concrete the end of the track down there with the
make a skid pad.
Make a skid pad down there where they can.
Hey, if it rains, don't matter.
That's right.
Come on in.
They could put some concrete barriers up there and have a good time out there.
Concrete barriers and fence.
There you go.
Let's go out to a caller. Hello.
Hey, Randall, Steve from Tennessee. How you guys
doing? Hey,
doing?
buddy. Hey, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to y'all, and Happy New Year. I just wanted to tell you that. And, man, those old movies bring back some good memories, I'm telling you. I think Smokey and the Bandit's just at the very top. It always has been.
You say Smokey and the Bandit should be number one over American Graffiti?
You know,
they're close.
I guess because I saw that one in the theaters, and American Graffiti came later for me. Smokey and the Bandit was just, it was just, to me, it just set the tone. Even though, like you said, Two-Lane Blacktop and all that was earlier, that movie just, Hal Needham was just something else.
Well,
he just.
Hey, let me tell you, I worked at the Pontiac dealership when Smokey and the Bandit came out. I have personally driven hundreds and hundreds of Smokey and the Bandit Trans Ams. Hundreds of them.
That's right. Jackie Gleason cannot be denied as being one of the best actors in that movie.
He ad-libbed. He ad-libbed a lot of, wrote the stuff, but just leave him alone. He'll
tell him what you want him to do. He'll come in and he'll do it.
No doubt about it, man. And I tell you, well, Pontiac, they really capitalized on that movie. And then after that, all those versions of those Trans Ams they came out with, the anniversary Trans Am, they put the last of the 400s in them, and the 4-speeds, and they had that beautiful leather interior.
Oh, two-tone silver.
Oh man, they just rode that thing as far as it would go. I was so disappointed when it took me a while to get used to them when they redesigned them in '82.
Yeah.
But I got over it after a while because then, of course, Knight Rider came out, and then I said, well, I guess it's all right.
Yeah.
Hey, now you're talking cheesy.
Yeah.
That car is goes around and talks to kids. They've got computerized car. That thing's still around.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you go through those early '80s shows, Fall Guy, Simon and Simon, everybody had something cool. Even
Rockford Files.
I was going to say, I showed my wife the other day. She had never. I said, "You've never seen? You like James Garner, and you never saw Rockford?" Well, it was before my time. I said, "Well." She was born 4 years after me, so I said, "It ain't after your time. You were just 3 years old instead of 7, like I was."
Now,
watching it, but
Jim Rockford would go into a curved slide in a '76 model and come out in a '77.
They did that a lot with Starsky and Hutch too. That one day it was a standard, next day it was automatic.
27-speed, 4-speed automatic.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing had to shift 10 times going down the road. That's for sure.
It's like John Wayne never had to reload his rifle. He shot for 35 years, never reload. Man, what was he shooting?
Those guys barely knew what an overdrive was then to even have that extra gear, much less 6 more of them.
They had overdrive in the '60s in a Chevrolet truck, 3-speed. You get going speed, put the clutch in, and had a handle down close to the emergency brake handle. You pull, and that was an overdrive. It was in a manual transmission. Worked good.
I think the first one, I looked that up one time. The first one of those came out, wasn't it in the 40s or something?
Oh, yeah.
The very first, the overdrives went. But weren't they, Randall, they were a separate unit?
Yes.
Weren't they? Yeah, they were.
Hey, what do you think a Gear Vendors is now? Gear Vendors overdrive bolts the back of your transmission in it. You've got an overdrive in whatever gear you're in.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I had a 3/4 ton Suburban, kind of like yours. It was a camper special. It was a square body. I guess it'd be a late '70s, but it had the original Oldsmobile diesel motor in it.
Oh yeah.
They took it out and put a 454 in there. Somebody did, but it had that Gear Vendors overdrive unit in it, and you can basically leave it in that overdrive.
Right. Unless you're towing, you didn't have to worry about it.
Even towing, I used it towing. Yeah. That motor was strong enough to pull it, and that thing would get probably 18 miles to the gallon towing.
Well, that's strong.
It was unbelievable. I mean, it hardly used any gas at all. Well, you could drive it to Huntsville and back on a tank of gas.
Yeah. Hey, you think about it. Huntsville, it says 200 miles on a tank of gas. Of course, towing is, man.
Unbelievable. We should have kept that thing. That was a great little vehicle.
Those things got some bad gas mileage. When you pull up and got gas, you had to turn it off or it would get full.
Yeah.
That's bad, ain't it?
Oh, man.
Yeah. Now, the trucks I got now, you can watch the needle move as you're going down the road. That's for sure. And I had one of them old Chevrolet dualies with a 454.
I had one.
You can watch that thing going down the road, and you're going like, son of a gun, this thing broke? You'd hit on it. But no, it ain't broke. It's
going down that fast.
It's slopping down some fuel. But it'll pull anything you put behind it.
Yeah. That is funny.
A 454 about like a 464. It doesn't matter what you do to it. You're going to get 10 miles a gallon.
But,
you may as well just ride it down.
That's right.
The Ford, and I'm a Chevrolet guy through the Ford was actually a better motor. The fuel mileage was better. And there were some problems that the Chevrolets had. The Fords didn't have, and it worked great. Now that old ignition module wouldn't stay going.
Oh yeah, on a Ford.
Oh, you better have a couple of them with you. Chevrolet, you had to have headlight switches. Because you put, you get all your lights on dually and put the ones on trailer, you've added about 50 lights. You fixed to burn the headlight switch out of it. So you keep one in the dash.
All right. Smokey and the Bandit is got to vote for being number one. I say American Graffiti being number one. Randall, what do you say is number one?
It's hard to beat American Graffiti. Now I'm a Smokey and the Bandit fan. Sally Field, actually, I was kind of a fan of hers.
There you go.
She was smoking hot.
That's right. Her line was, "Do you ever take that hat off or anything?"
You want to take your hat off?
Landon, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie? Oh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna have to go with Hot Rod, but the stupid one with the curly-haired guy, where the guy jumps over to the buses.
Hooper. Yeah, Jan Michael Vincent. Is that now? He jumped the Warrior River down here in Summerton. They took the bridge out. Now they They tried to jump it in a rocket car. That didn't work out too good.
No. It was the movie called Hot Rod.
Oh, okay.
And he jumps the buses.
No, he jumped it on the moped.
Yes.
Oh,
that
the
one,
second
Hot Rod.
movie, yeah, with the oh yeah.
He had wearing a cape.
Yes.
Yeah, that is pretty good. Remember, he got up everybody in the neighborhood. He's going to jump the swimming pool. Well, that didn't work out. He landed in the swimming pool.
And his sponsor was AM Radio.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to see that version of Hot Rod. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
You know they made a ramp.
He did the Eva Knievel ramp jump, didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't he crash or something like that?
Well, no, they made the ramp, and there's two buddies sitting there that said, "Did you reinforce that?" No, I didn't have time. He ran through the ramp instead of jumping up.
Ran into the car or something like that.
He's gonna jump the pool, lands in the pool.
Yeah. Yeah, trying to impress the chick. Oh, that Hot Rod, that was a good one.
I always tried to imagine how you remember when Evel Knievel jumped the Snake River Canyon?
Oh yeah.
He technically didn't make that.
Right.
I mean, hell, he went down in the bottom, but if he'd have made that'd have been the greatest feat ever, man. That thing was so. That was such a cool.
There's so many stories behind that he tried to back out of that, and because of his contracts,
he couldn't.
They actually made him get in.
Well, as soon as he took off, he grabbed hold of that parachute.
Well, you got to give it to his son, because his son later on did jump Snake River. Now I think it was a sectioned off part of it. It's not like it was a mile across it. He made the little fingerling. He jumped on a. But he did do a jump on it.
Hey, it wasn't one of the more crappy XR 750 Harleys. Those things were terrible.
No, I think he jumped it with a motorcycle, didn't he?
Yeah, he jumped on a bike with 21 inches of travel and.
Yeah, it was a purposely built dirt bike, I guess.
And
a lot of suspension on it.
Yeah, the Harley that's when AMF owned American Machine and Foundry. The bowling ball people owned Harley, and that thing, the XR 750, probably had 2.5 inches of travel on the back and 3 on the front. And that's what Evil was jumping with, and it probably weighed 600 pounds.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, those bikes, they may not have been much quality-wise, but they were some beautiful machines.
Oh, yeah.
They were. AMF had some nice-looking bikes.
Well, the term "I'd rather push a Harley than ride a Honda" came from that bike era. I just want you to know.
Yeah, they were pretty.
They broke down often.
Yeah, kind of poor quality.
Yeah.
Their quality control wasn't real good.
No, they didn't have really good mounts on the motor, I think, and that's where the Milwaukee came from.
I tell you though, when they finally bought her back and straightened her out, boy, they did a heck
yes,
of a
they
job.
did. Yeah, and now the future holds a lot for them, and I know they're trying to make electric motorcycles and stuff now, and that's probably got a moment in a section of the world where that's probably going to be very popular.
Well, performance will be good. We know that.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt about it. Yeah, they'll be very consistent too. That's another thing about the electric stuff. Boy, it's just dead on consistent.
That's it.
But that, as far as Evel Knievel goes, though, the key words to that whole thing when he was jumping the canyon was a steam-powered rocket.
Right.
If you said those words to me, I'd say that's the end of the conversation.
Well, it'd be like shoot a catapult off aircraft carriers. All it was.
Yeah.
Oh my!
But I know that when he did that, all eyes were on TV that one moment when he was doing that, because they built that up. Chiclets got in on that as an advertiser, and they really built that up as a big thing.
Y'all remember the guy that put the rocket Thunderbird?
Oh yeah.
And this thing left the ramp at about 300 and something mile an hour when he went airborne.
Yeah.
All the body panels flew off of it.
Yeah.
He was hooning.
I was up in Canada or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah. He got him a little bit of a run up, rocket. Them things would go.
Now that guy was sure enough crazy. He was ate up with crazy.
Well, see, we're gonna have to take us a break. We appreciate you calling. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and I hope Todd's family, everybody, Mr. Johnny, Keith, I want to include all them in that, and
the whole family.
Will up there in the north. That's right. And y'all have a good one, and man, we'll look forward to y'all taking it back up after the first of the year.
Okay, bud. See you later.
All right, see you guys.
Uh-huh.
All right, bye.
Let's go out and take us a break. We got another caller. Let's take us a break, and it'll be our last break of the day, and we'll be right back on DragRace Central.
Welcome back into DragRace Central. Our segment's going to be brought to you by Ray's Drive Shafts, located at 1417 Decatur Highway in Fultondale, Alabama. Give them a call at 256-572-7485. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Go out there and get some drive shafts, some VP Racing fuel.
And get your gift certificate for 3 pails. 3 pails of VP race fuel.
No. Better than that. Just buy 3 of every kind. That way you know you got the right stuff.
Hey, variety pack.
A sample.
A sample, yeah. That's it.
Kind of like a sampler platter.
Let's go out to a caller. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How's everybody?
Hey, Mr. Will, everything's great. Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you, sir. Same to y'all very much. I hope they'll have a good week or a couple weeks. I know a lot of places
we'll be
off.
off.
Take off for a week or two.
We'll be off a couple of weeks, and Landon's talking about us doing a podcast or a YouTube show next week. We'll go up to his house, and he's got a studio at his house, and we may just do that. Watch our YouTube feeds and our Facebook. How else would they know, Landon?
DragRace Central on YouTube. It's DragRace is one word. Central is its own. Central.
Okay.
Go like, subscribe, and you'll see something next week.
That's it. How about that?
Very good. Sounds good. Yeah, gentlemen. I'll try to catch it. Try to watch it there on the YouTube. There's some good stuff on there. There's some bad stuff on there too. We'll try to avoid that.
Well, it's any place you go. If you look for the right stuff, you'll find it.
Right.
Church is a wonderful place. If you go to church looking for the wrong thing, you'll find it there too. So
exactly right.
So you go for the right stuff, it's certainly there. So make sure
what pleases God, not what pleases.
I mean that's just the way you do things.
Mm-hmm. Well, like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, all that stuff, you can put stuff on there that you think may be true, or that, and then you'll get maybe a dozen or 2 dozen or 50 or 100 comments, or 20 or 30 or 50, 100 people look at it, and they make, well, yeah, that's right, yeah, okay, yeah, they'll just agree with what that person says, and it's not anywhere near truth. I mean, looks can be deceiving a lot of times, very deceiving.
And garbage
in,
garbage out.
It causes all massive confusion. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, garbage in, garbge out.
I call it Facebook. I call it Facebook.
That's it.
That's where people sticking their nose or face a lot of times.
Man, alive.
How's the racing world down that way? Up here, we are looking forward to the season starting. I talked to my friend at the Speedway at the parade a few weeks ago in Moulton that runs the track, the round track, and he's going to try to get some racing going on. I think he told me about the second week of February, if they can squeeze one in, an early race. Track may be froze good and solid, and have a good night for some racing.
It'll be 80 degrees or 8. We don't know.
It could be. We may get some 8 degrees here in about a week.
I know that. Well, Will, we appreciate you calling. We got some stuff to finish up here this morning, but we sure appreciate you calling, and keep in touch.
I sure will, gentlemen. Y'all have a great day. Anything I can do to help y'all, please holler, let me know. Y'all be safe.
All right, buddy. That's our buddy Will up in North Alabama. Well, Chris, you had some things you're going to say. We are 7:54 this December 17th. It's a little bit cool outside. So what was you going to say to our loyal listeners?
Hey, I just wanted to say, everybody out there, remember that Jesus is a reason
for the season. That's
it. And please, everyone, hug your loved ones. You never know how long you're going to be on this great world. It goes by quickly. So be safe. Enjoy your company you're with. And tell everybody you love them. That's because
even if you don't.
Even if you don't, tell them you love them. We got too much negative stuff that happens in this world. We need to have some positive stuff.
Yeah,
so,
it doesn't cost any extra to be nice.
Yeah. So when you're in a checkout, tell them Merry Christmas or tell them they're beautiful. And, those people working in and out who deal with the public, you don't know it, but sometimes they're really having a rough day.
Anybody who's worked with the public understands. There's some people who are not nice.
And just lighten their day up. It makes their day go a lot better. And so, pass the cheer around. It comes back to you tenfold.
It certainly will.
So remember that. Jesus is the reason we're celebrating this coming weekend up, and keep that in remembrance. Everything happens through the Lord.
And just remember, when y'all buying me a present, I spent over $1,000 on y'all, on everybody on the air. So make sure y'all know that when y'all start buying me a present. I'm bad to tell stories.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't help it. It's okay. I'm a professional.
Well,
semi-professional.
All right, there you go.
That's scary. No, wait a minute, Chris. The word is bless his heart.
Yeah, bless his heart.
You can say anything about anybody. Oh, bless their heart.
Yes. But Merry Christmas, everybody out there. I don't want to just get that out there, and I want everybody to be blessed and happy holidays, and New Year's will be here before you know it, and we'll be looking at 2023.
Yes, right. Hey, if you haven't got your car on the way to being ready for next year, January is coming.
Unbelievable.
It's going to be some cold weather next week. We're going to be trying to do a YouTube video for next week's show. It'll probably be a 1 hour. Is that about right, Landon?
We'll do about an hour.
Okay, hour-ish. Remember, Yellowstone is tomorrow night. Did I mention Yellowstone? I am addicted. That is pretty good.
Yeah, our YouTube channel again is DragRace Central.
Yellowstone? No, I'm sorry.
We're paying our own bills, not theirs.
Oh, I noticed. I wrote your check.
Yeah. And then our Facebook page is 101.1 DragRace Central. 101.1 DragRace Central.
And we're
on Facebook.
We are preparing for World of Wheels. Capital City Motorsports Park has got a winter series. You check their thing out. They got something. Maybe if the weather's right. New Year's they had some kind of event going on. Weather this time of year you can't tell. Air conditioner or heater, you just don't know.
That's right.
The winter series, I saw this last night, March 15th, 16th. There was one because we've got some time to talk about it. But there's some stuff. The $100,000 Pro Mod invitation only race at Bradenton Motorsports Park takes place mid-February. $100,000 to win. Cletus McFarland, they're proposing a new housing subdivision by the Freedom Factory, 2,700 acres. With 4,300 houses being built next to a racetrack. I see this as going bad for the racetrack.
It's unbelievable that these racetracks, they're built back in the day out and nowhere. And it's just housing is moving closer and closer to these racetracks.
And then the racetrack takes a brunt. Oh, you got to quit because you're bothering us. Well, you built by a racetrack.
Easiest way to get away with that is add a museum there. Because museums actually take priority over housing.
Hey.
Yeah, that'll work.
Good idea.
Even if they sign that we know that there's a racetrack, it won't hold up. People complain and there's voters. All right, guys. Merry Christmas to everybody. In New Year's, we'll be back. First of the year, watch our YouTube video next week. And just remember, the older I get, the faster I'm going to be. Replay tonight, 9 to 11. See y'all in 2023.